Hello everybody, welcome back. It is Vinyl Friday here at Expressions Vinyl, which means that we just do some fun little project, kind of talk to you about some stuff, and we just have fun. So while we're waiting for a few people to get on, has anybody used Stripflock before? That's what we're going to be talking about today. And if you watched, was it you? Yeah. If you watched Joanne's News Day Tuesday, Joanne's behind the camera. She was saying we were going to do Stripflock today, so that's what we're going to talk about. So let's hear what you're working on this weekend. Are you vacationing? I swear a million people are leaving for vacation here because I saw at the gas station this morning and you could like not get in and out of it. So everybody must be heading off for some fun. So we're just gonna stay here and play with Stripflock. So what's everybody doing today? Have you played with Stripflock? What have you done with Stripflock? Because we've got some fun ideas for you. So do we have any questions so far? People excited? No? We'll just kind of dig right into it. Okay, so Joanne's behind the camera. She'll see comments. If you guys have any questions about it, don't hesitate to ask. I'll try to kind of guide you through everything, tell you about the new Stripflock, and Jessica will also be commenting. So we have the new Stripflock, which I forgot to grab my sample kit. We had a Stripflock, but now we have a new Stripflock called Stripflock Pro, and there are a lot more colors. I want to say there was only like 10 before. There's like 19 now. So, and they finally have brown, which is probably my favorite one because it's new. There's this cool burgundy. They've just got a bunch of new colors. They're new teal or turquoise. They've got some fun stuff like that. So Stripflock, we have it available in sample kits, and you can see all the fun colors. So if you've gotten it in the past, some of the colors might be similar, but there's new colors out now. So you might want to get you some. And we've got the Caesar stuff on sale, so you know, go do that too. Okay, so what we're gonna do today, I'll kind of show you these projects. So these are the two of the new colors. I mean, black is always, and I think I actually accidentally did navy, but just assume it's black. And the yellow, there's two different ones, but there's like a bright yellow and then this like sun yellow. And then the burgundy looks super cool. So the only thing I could think of when doing those two was Harry Potter. So, and I'm not a Harry Potter fan, so if there's any Harry Potter fans, maybe you'll like that. But Stripflock also is fuzzy, so it's kind of a different media to work with. It's really fun to work with. Also, while I was laying out all the colors, I had this really fun idea. So I love earrings, and like I'm occasionally collecting rings and stuff. I don't wear very many of them, but it was a super fun idea. I told Jessica last night about it, and I was so excited about it, I just whipped it out last night. But it's the Stripflock, and it's fuzzy. So you know those like velvet jewelry cases, or I don't know, where you can stick your rings in? That's what this is kind of like. So, and I mean, my rings are pretty tight in there right now. But it was just a fun project idea. They have a velvety finish, and this is all the colors. There is one color still coming. So there will be 19. We have 18 right now. But yeah, it just has a velvety finish, and you can do some fun project ideas. This was easy to do. I just heated them around some fun foam and then some dowels, and now I have a jewelry holder. So we also have, I'm going to grab this. This will kind of show some of the colors on a shirt. So I know you can't get the texture from it, but just imagine like a flocking on a Christmas tree. It's fuzzy and velvety like that. So there are a ton of fun new colors. So let's see which one's your favorite. Do you have any questions so far? No?
Are the sample kits available yet?
Yes, I believe so.
Without the color?
No, not yet. Correction. They will be once we get that other color in, but we will have them. So I forgot about that. We have them just because we've got all the other colors. So, all right. So what we're gonna do today is just a fun little bag you can get from Hobby Lobby. It's just like a little kid's crayon bag. Maybe something fun for your kids to do while it's summer. You're going on vacation. Maybe you can put some coloring books in there. But we're also going to use a variety of these colors because there's so many now. So, and then I'm going to pair it with our electric because they kind of coordinated a lot. So we're mostly talking about Stripflock, but I also wanted to pair these together. And this file that I'm going to do on here, Jessica's got the link for it. It's a free cut file right now. So if you have a fun bag like this, you want to put it on, great. Okay, so to start with, we're going to do our, and I can't remember the name of this gray. It's not the newer one. This one's just gray. There is a darker gray that's called anthracite or something like that. I can't remember. So what I'm going to do, it's really easy to weed, and we've done projects in the past with it before where it's been like the fuzzy poster type stuff where you can color on it. So maybe we'll post videos later on how to do that, but it is super easy to weed.
Can you layer Stripflock?
Yes. So I'm going to show you that in just a bit. I just kind of want to show you. And this is our black. Black's probably the most sought after. Mostly because you can also use it as kind of a faux embroidered look. So if you've got like some fabric on there and you hate stitching around it, which is what I hate stitching around my applique, you can add it around there and it looks like it's been stitched. It's super easy to do. So, and the best part I think about the Stripflock, the new Stripflock Pro, is that it used to be a cold peel. Now it's a hot peel, and it is so much nicer. So I'm just weeding these ones out so I know where to position it, but it's super easy to weed. The biggest thing that I see people have a struggle with on the Stripflock is that they're just not cutting deep enough. So it is soft, but it's still thick. So super easy to weed. And I believe the cut settings are right online. The heat settings are not up to date yet. So we'll tell you what those are too. Okay, so I've just got my base layers ready to go so I know where to lay them out. Mostly because I didn't want to overlap stuff. So, got those ready. Alright, so we've got our easy press. You can use an iron, you can use a heat press. Easy presses are just a nice happy medium. Okay, so got this all laid down where I want it to be. Okay. So what you'll need is a solid surface. So we've got these boards that you've probably seen in a lot of videos. You can use an ironing board, but they kind of flex, so you might lose some of the heat and pressure. So either a cutting board or just like a table, a floor, like these are great though. It's just a Mylar board wrapped in our cover sheet. So the new Stripflock is 311 degrees for 12 seconds. It used to be 320, so it is a lower temperature now too. So it's a lot easier to work with, I think. Okay. So the biggest question is you don't need a cover sheet. Not with this. My carrier sheet is covering the whole thing. That acts like your cover sheet, so you don't need one. And since I'm going to be layering, Stripflock is not as likely to shrink. So I'm only going to do it for a couple seconds. But now where this is a hot peel, I can kind of get away with that a little easier. And I'm not getting really good pressure on that. Let me try it again. Do you have any questions so far? Not really? Everybody's off plan? Okay. So you still want good pressure. It is lower temperature, and it is a hot peel. And it does do a lot better. If you wait till it cools, it's a little bit tougher to work with. But I'm like not getting enough pressure.
You're hitting the seams. Do you want a pillow?
Oh, yeah. That's what I was doing. Get a pillow. People ask about those all the time too, and they make up, like what Joanne was saying, there's seams right here, so that's why these are not going down. I grabbed a pillow for that reason. Okay, so just a couple seconds. Oh, I keep doing that. There we go, much easier. And that's just getting it on there. It's not like if you were to wash this bag, it's not going to stay. Oh, come on. It does not want to work with me today. It's usually not like this. I did it with this one and it did fine. Okay.
Are you getting enough pressure?
I think so. Oh, there we go. I think I just wasn't doing it hard enough before. Okay, so, ooh, stretches a little bit. So be careful. I mean, if you have spots that are coming up, it's okay. Just do it for a couple more seconds. And firm pressure. It's kind of hard to do when you're sitting down. Oh, jeez. It just doesn't want to go. I'm going to scooch my chair up. We're going to do a little bit more pressure. So if you're standing, I'm not because I'm tall and I'll go out of frame. But if you're standing or like put it on the floor with good firm pressure, you shouldn't run into this. Or if you've got a heat press that you can set the pressure, it should come off just like that. So the question was, can you layer Stripflock? Yes. It is one of the vinyls you can layer underneath and on top. There are a few we recommend not layering on top of, like the glitter or the holographic or the metals. They just tend to do better on, I mean, you can layer them, but we recommend not doing it just because of the textures. Okay, so see how easy this stuff is to weed? Because it's thick. The carrier sheet does lose its tackiness. So if it's starting to come up, it's fine. It's just temporary that it's holding it on there. But you can't reuse these carrier sheets if you use carrier sheets for something else. Okay. Do we have anybody say that they've used the new stuff?
No, a bunch of people have used Stripflock before, but not necessarily the new stuff.
I love Stripflock. I don't think it's as utilized as it could be because a lot of people just want the solid stuff, but it's fairly thin. It's not incredibly thick, but it's super pretty when it's soft. So if you've got shirts that have like, especially for Easter, for bunnies, the white and the gray are really popular during Easter. The new yellows would be cute for chicks, the brown teddy bears. So super easy to weed. So this would be a fun kids project because you don't have to worry about them getting their hooks out. It's just ready to go. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I've kind of got them laid out. I'm using the gray as kind of a layout. I have my image over here that I'm looking at, but you can layer it right on top. So, because this is the only one that has a carrier sheet and this doesn't, and my iron's gonna hit that, this is when I'm gonna use our multi-use sheets. And they're only like 89 or 80 cents or something like that. So they're not expensive at all. And you can reuse them and reuse them. If you want a heat transfer cover sheet that will last for like ever, we have those as well.
Elizabeth says she uses them to make coloring shirts for her kids.
Yeah.
And then Aubrianne has a question. On a silhouette, would you just use an auto blade or do you want to use a ratchet blade?
If the auto blade is only if you have the Cameo 3. So they're basically the same thing. A ratchet blade is for the older models. So if you have a Cameo 2 or older, you can't use the auto blades. So then you would use a ratchet blade. So they're basically the same thing. The only difference is that with the Cameo 3s, they made it so that they'll automatically adjust.
But they would both work great to fit Stripflock.
They both work great. And you can use a premium blade. I use my premium blade more for the thicker material like the glitter and the Stripflock. So either one will work. You just have to get your settings correct. And I typically cut Stripflock on like a 5, so blade 5, speed depending upon the image, like 3 to 5. And then my blade is like, or my force is like a 12 to 15. So I'm not sure what the Cricut setting is. Do you know what that is, Joanne? Off the top of your head?
Not off the top of my head. No, but we do have all the settings
Yeah.
on the website, just under machine settings.
And we've got them for the silhouettes, which are all across the board the same. We've got the Explore.
Yeah, the
Cricut.
Explore family machines, and then the Maker.
Yeah. So they're all on there. And they're all pretty accurate. We test them. And like I said, Jessica's probably posted it. We did this one. Ooh, this one's gonna be a little bit off, but that's okay. This is a free cut file. So you can go to the link and there is a Silhouette Studio option file. So you should just be able to download that and open it right up. Cricut users or like Brother or any other one will need the SVG. And that's also in there. And they're all separated and ready for you to go. So you should just be able to import it and go. So I'm not really counting because I'm only doing a couple seconds. At the end, we'll kind of go over the whole thing. And this is a lot of layers. You could space it out, but where they are knocked out and ready to go, you don't have to do any slicing or anything in Cricut. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue. Okay. It's been a while. They are ready to go. So you don't really have to do anything. Like I said, a couple seconds. Before the old stuff, you would have had to wait for all of these to cool, and it takes forever. So this is awesome that it just comes right off. Whereas, oh no, did I lose my white crayon? I weeded it out. Well, our white crayon is gone forever. Maybe we'll find it. I don't know. Okay, so Stripflock, super easy. You can layer it on top, but you can also have it as an underneath layer. So that's what I'm going to show you with the Easy Weed Electric. And the electric, I don't know where my white crayon went.
Did you just barely beat it out, or?
I thought I did. I thought I pulled it out. Oh, it's on the floor. It fell. It's right there. There we go. Okay. So I've got, on this, we've got layered and we have the knockout, which you've probably heard that term before. And it's just when they're not actually on top of each other. So these crayons are not on top of each other. They're sliced right next to each other. So it looks like they are. Did I not get enough pressure on that one? Obviously not. Okay. There we go. Okay, perfect. All ready to go. And they're soft for little kids. So, fun, fuzzy material. All right, and now we have the Easy Weed Electric. Super easy to weed as well. I will show you one trick because we've done this before and people go, what are you doing? So we've got a board and I'm gonna heat up my area. And this is called, well, I call it speed weeding. I don't know what other people call it. But it heats up your surface. It's not affecting the glue. It's just warming it away from the carrier sheet. So if you've got detailed stuff, this is like one of my favorite tricks and it just pulls out like butter. It is like the only one that you cannot do that on is the Easy Weed Electric. Or not the Easy Weed Electric, the Easy Weed adhesive that we use for the deco foils because, oh, did I just pull out the wrong thing? It's basically double-sided adhesive and it just turns into like a gloopy glob of
A couple people want to know what you're doing.
Okay, so people that are just joining, we are playing with our new Stripflock Pro, Caesar's Stripflock Pro. The difference between the old stuff and the new stuff is that there are, I'll show this again so they can see all the colors. There are a lot more colors that go around. The regular Stripflock before had about 10 colors, and they even discontinued a few colors from that 10 color lineup. But now there's 19 colors, and it is no longer a cold peel. It is a hot peel, so you don't have to wait every time you do a layer.
Okay, and then there was a question about what does electric mean?
Electric is basically, if you can see that, it kind of has a metallic finish to it. So it's not your flat, like orange or yellow. It
kind of reminds me of, like, this orange. I would call this, like, motorcycle Harley Davidson orange. That's what I would call it. So it kind of has a metallic-y finish to it. So it's a cool look. Like, especially for, like, boys stuff, it just gives a different look. That's all it is. It's still an easy weed. It just has a metallic finish. All right, and the other thing, we're just doing a project for those, that's what I was saying, is that we're just doing a quick project for those that are just joining. We're using the Stripflock Pro and our Easy Weed Electric. Both are Caesar, and they are awesome. My blade was apparently getting dull. There's a tip for you. If you're seeing this a lot and it looks like areas are not cutting quite right, it's probably time for a new blade. So keep that in mind too. If just random spots are just like not cut all the way.
Don't forget the crayon tips on some of those.
Oh yeah. Thanks.
And your orange one.
Pull these. Oh, I got that one.
The orange.
Orange. Okay. Do we get them all? Just need this one? Okay, so it's a tiny bit thicker than regular Easy Weed, but not much.
It's a fun one to work with. I like using it a lot.
It adds a different finish to it.
If you don't want the glitter, but you want a little bit of the shine to it, just to add a little bit something, electric is great for that.
And there's a lot of colors. This is just like a few of them. I don't remember how many colors are in the electric line, but there's a ton. And we just added a new one, I believe, today.
Yes.
Opal. So we have the pearl.
I think I have one over there. We can.
Make sure.
Yeah, we'll show you the brand new electric that's
So
opal.
This is our pearl, and it's just kind of like snowy, metallic-y white. But this is the opal. So it's got kind of a green, pink, like, I don't know how to explain it. It is a little bit different than the pearl. So if you want something that's got a little more like, I call it Dawn dish soap effect. I don't know what you call it. But you see like the rainbow in it. It's kind of cool. Okay, so for these ones, because these are the same shape as my Stripflock, I'm gonna go every other crayon. That way I won't have to press as many times. Whereas before on the Stripflock, I had to do one at a time because they're right next to each other to line everything up. So this just makes it a little bit easier, less pressing, less likely to over press, which you can do. A lot of people think, oh, I gotta press it for as hard and long. No, that's kind of a wives' tale. So you don't need to see the texture through. I'm only gonna do this since Easy Weed Electric is 305, since I have this at 310, I'm still only gonna do like a second or two. 1, 2. 1, 2. And it should go on a lot easier than the Stripflock did the first time. All right, and just peel slowly.
So that's right on top of the Stripflock. So the fuzzy Stripflock, and she just put electric right on top of it.
And it does not shrink. I haven't ever had Stripflock shrink. Some.
But you don't have to worry about that fuzzy texture when you put something
No.
on top of it. With this one, it's great.
So these two together, because they're such like different finishes and textures, I love these two together. They're just, I don't know about you guys, I like to do the different weird stuff because it's different. So I messed up a little bit on that one, but that's okay. So then again, I'm gonna go back and do every other one. La, la, la. The only thing you want to watch for when you're doing this is make sure you don't have a cover sheet underneath a vinyl, because then you're just going to press it right onto your cover sheet and then your vinyl's ruined. That's why I'm doing every other one. Da, 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 da. All right, perfect. And then you put your multi-use paper over top and do it for a couple seconds. Good firm pressure. See, it's a lot easier if you've got a good solid.
And Heather's asking if the gray background stays showing. It is right around the edges, so let me get closer.
Yeah. It's just kind of to look like a shadow. If I were to redo this, I would actually take all those solid crayons and do a slice or a slice and Cricut and then if you're using a silhouette, do a subtract all, and it will take away everything except for these little pieces. So then it'll be flat. You won't have like 3 layers technically. Okay, so, oh, that's an extra one. Then we're just gonna add this to the top. And this is the black Stripflock as well. And then these should kind of line up if they were all done right. I kind of designed it so that they would all stick on top, but like over the circles. But if you want them like specifically somewhere else, just cut that off and put them wherever you want. It really doesn't matter. All right, okay, so good firm pressure. This is our last press. So I'm gonna do about 5 seconds on each side. Okay, and then, oh, that one got missed off the pillow. We'll fix that one. And so did that one. We do have bigger pillows too. This is just the one that we had up here. So there's a variety of pillows, and I didn't attach the link for the pillows, but Jessica could probably go in and attach one, or we can add the link in later for them. If you're doing a lot of layering on like bulky materials and seams like this, especially like onesies that are super thick on the seams, pillows are a lifesaver. Yeah, man, I missed there too. These little ones work great for onesies though. Okay, and I'm just gonna make sure. Oh, I moved the pillow, that's what I keep doing. All right, and the, especially on the black, it looks kind of like dirty. That's not gonna transfer because there's no adhesive actually on that stuff. Man, I'm having a hard time with this today. Okay, and then, this is why you need a pillow. Okay. Try it again. Nope. You know what? Come on, Stripflock. It doesn't do this. I'm just gonna pull it off. It is pretty forgiving too, so it's acting like, is it turning off? No. It's acting like it's not getting enough.
Do it for a few more seconds on it.
Yeah. Okay, we're just gonna do the full up pressure. Now this is, if this was a shirt, I'd be very careful, but where it's a canvas bag and you're not as likely to wash it, I mean you might, if you're actually sticking like crayons and all this stuff, and it might get a little bit messy. You can, I'm gonna let that cool down a little bit. You can kind of get away with a little bit over. Okay, there we go. So if you're having that issue, try a little more pressure. Ooh. But I did compromise my electric a little bit. Goodness gracious. So, in hindsight, I would probably, because you see my electric's coming up, it was too hot for too long. That's what happens. You can kind of recover it, like I might just pull that bad boy off. But in hindsight, just do it a little bit lower, because you know, you'll just kind of have to play around with it, because you have to have it underneath these if you want that, or just take those off. But now that I've got all the carrier sheets off, I don't really need that. I'm just gonna kind of iron over it. I'm not gonna really iron. And this is just getting rid of any seams that the carrier sheets can create. So, there. Done and done. Okay. All right, what do you guys think? Just a fun little bag. They can put their little crayons in it. And it'd be a fun bag for a road trip or like meetings, preschool, whatever you want to keep your kids occupied. Put some coloring books in there. So that's all I've showed you today is the Stripflock Pro, and it is super fun. It's fuzzy. It's just a different texture. I know quilters use it a lot if they just want the faux embroidered effect, and we've got some videos on that too. So maybe we'll post some up later. But do we have any other questions?
No other questions. There is, not that I like you to have problems, but it's nice to see you pros struggle sometimes too.
Oh, we
It's
do.
encouraging.
We just don't show it all the time, but trust me, we do. And we mess up, and it's
Everybody
all part of the
does.
game. Yeah. So I always say order extra, just in case, because if you order extra, you're not gonna mess up. If you don't, you will mess up. So keep that in mind when you're placing your orders. Order extra, you won't mess up. So, all right, that's all we have for you guys today. Make some fun bags, make a cute onesie, or like a ring holder. Super fun projects to make. And we have lots of colors, and we also have that coupon out right now. So, thanks for watching, everybody. Have a fun Friday. If you're vacationing or traveling, have fun, and we will see you Tuesday. So, and if you don't know what we're talking about, go through our Facebook feed and you'll see what's going on Tuesdays. So, thanks for watching, everybody, and have a great Friday. Bye.